He has a bunch of Akdamas. He has one Akdama and another Akdama. First is one Akdama and then goes Akdama Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, Vav Zayin, Ches, Tes, 9 Akdamas, but it's really 10 Akdamas. First Akdama doesn't even have a nice Aleph. And these Akdamas, these introductions are tremendous, not just insights, but practical teachings in how to serve Hashem. The whole Sefer is built on, it was supposed to be in all 613 mitzvahs. We only have till mitzvah Nun Vav, number 56. But the idea is that the Bnei Yissacher took the mitzvahs and he divided every mitzvah in Machshava, Dibur, Maisa. Maisa, understandably, is the halachic part, but Chidushim, how to do the mitzvah, Dibur, is Pilpul, Chidushim on the Psukim and on the Mamar Chazal, and Machshava, he gave very geschmackig kavanas for a person to be able to know as he's doing the mitzvah, to inspire him to do the mitzvah properly when a person, but before that, he wrote 10 Akdamas, 10 introductions to the Sefer. Fascinating, right? And each Akdama is another very important lesson in Derech and Avodas Hashem. That mamish, it's a sefer. Each Akdama is a sefer of its own, and it's very important to know it and to learn it. So we're almost finishing. The first Akdama, and nobody missed that because we'll catch everybody up. All the that are coming for the first time, we'll catch you up to where we're up to. So basically, in short, and as short as possible, if you want further explanation, you can listen to the first many shiurim. How many shiurim? And just Akdama? A bunch. Yeah, and the first. So the idea is like this, Sefer, and it's also, if you just listen, my introduction to the last year of, all about these introductions, is that now the 3 weeks, as we all know, we spent the whole Shabbos Parshas Pinchas discussing it, that these weeks of the Beinam Tzarim, they mold and create the essence of all of the Shalosh Regalim, all the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, the whole Tishrei is all formed and molded in the way that our Hanhagis, our Nisnagisim, the way that we act in these 3 weeks. And the idea is, Good. No, I'm not going to blind it. You're going to blind it. Someday still, and we're in it. Oh, you felt it. You felt it. Parshas Pinchas. And therefore, what does it mean? It's days of mourning. How am I supposed to mold the most awesomest days? Because it's very important that a person realizes that every day is an awesome day. Every day is a great day. Every day, the Eibishter has been running this world ever since the beginning of existence, and he will be running it forever, infinitely. And the Eibishter created the world in order to be mahanos, in order to let us enjoy this world. Question is, enjoyment comes out into all different types of expressions, but the true enjoyment is l'hisanig al Hashem, right? Like the Messias Hashem says, a person is zeicher to be masanig in Torah and Avodah and mitzvahs, but what happens is there's so many setbacks. A person wants to be Derech Chiyid. He wants to enjoy davening. He wants to enjoy a Blat Gemara. He wants to enjoy Pasuk Chumash. He wants to enjoy Tefillin. There's so many setbacks that drive a person crazy. The number one setback is the Avodah of Teshuva. Yeah? The number one setback is the Avodah of Teshuva. And when Bnei Yissacher comes in the first Akdama, to very strongly break the mistake of what people think Teshuva is. Teshuva seems to be a very, very difficult avodah at first. People think they messed up. Teshuva, the word Teshuva is so scary that mamash, a guy might take the roof before he even tries to figure out what Teshuva is. Who knows? After my fast for 45 years, after mamash make tikkunim and gilgul sheleg and all different types of sigufim, and therefore, and if I start learning the deeper svarim, there's a very, very big bilbul. And what is that? That is at the Heilige Svarim, and it's emes, which is we have to know. If you know this, there's no bilbul. The Arizal teaches a very spooky thing, that until a person actually does tshuva, then we're still connected to the other side. That means every mitzvah that we do, instead of creating holiness, because we're still messed up and we didn't do tshuva, all we do is we blow out of proportion more and more the klipa. It's like the klipa sitting and fresh all the Torah mitzvahs. He's getting chizi. He's loving it. It's every mitzvah we do, says the Rizal, until a person does tshuva, is just benefiting the other side. A person sees such a piece of a Rizal, they could send him out the window. Oh my gosh, what do I do now? What do I do now? This is crazy. I have so many sins. I have to do pay Dalit Tanesim 5 times, 100,000 times every time. Oh, hey, forget about it. There's no chance, no choice. Rather not serve Hashem. Chas v'shalom, right? So this mistake, that's would be if a person who thinks tshuva is everything but tshuva. When a person learns what tshuva is the sweetest, most awesomest mitzvah in the world. It's even the easiest mitzvah. Yes, it takes work, but it's not something which is so wild and not so time-consuming. It's gavaldi. He says the number one thing first, you have to shave off what's toisvus tshuva and what ikar tshuva is. It's the ikar tshuva. That's most important. The sigufim later, which we'll talk about later, what sigufim, afflictions and all of that, we'll discuss what that is, how to do that. If you're allowed to do that, that's something else. Tshuva itself is a pashut halacha in the Rambam. And that is, person has charata. First number one, Aziv Yissacher. Stop. Person stops sitting. Stop. Person has charata. I regret, and a person's makabel. From now on, I'll never do this sin again. He says, that's really tshuva, but of course it's much deeper, as we explained the earlier shir. I'm not going to go back into it. The charata has to be a serious charata, that the imamish feels the bitterness of the Aveira. The Aziv Yissacher has to be that a person retracts the mental connections to the sin and in a mental mind state and in a physical. If a guy person knows, he walks down that street, Chas v'shalom, there's a big Yetzirah, so you know that you eradicate that street from your map. That's called, that I'm going to make Aziv Yissacher. Calls a man that street's still there, and Chas v'shalom, whenever you walk down, there's an Aveira going on over there, so then that's not considered Aziv Yissacher because he didn't eradicate it. So he says that Aziv Yissacher is a person has to be realistic, that he's leaving the chet, that anything that is attracting to him to that chet, he's also going to create a different pathological mindset that he shouldn't fall down. And that's Aziv Yissacher. And Kabbalah La'as it is that a person mamish is going to make a true Kabbalah, right, based on his charata, based on his Aziv Yissacher, that the Kabbalah is going to be 100% for real once again to create scenarios that he won't, similar to the Aziv Yissacher, but Kabbalah that he's not going to do it again, and even that it's for real, it's practical, it's enthusiastic. And then the Bnei Yissacher continues with explaining Sigufim is not part of, it's not tshuva. Sigufim is a person who wants to be able to take off the dirt, but you have to know if a person's capable of Sigufim. Through a person that really cries out to the Eibush, then he comes up with all different Gavaldiga, most amazing Gefanim that are also called Sigufim. And there are also different, a person that, because the worst thing is to lose track of the focus of what we're here for, to serve Hashem and do his mitzvahs. So a person's going to fast all day, and then he won't be able to serve Hashem. So those are not called Sigufim, that's Vaitir sinning. You're going to get petch for that. The person says, I gave up to heaven, I wasn't able to learn and daven because I'm busy doing tshuva. What did you do? I fasted. Fasted? Go to Gehenna for every fast you did. Mamish, it's not the way to do it. Chas v'sholom. Person has to be able to have koyach to serve Hashem and focus on doing more mitzvahs and doing more Torah. So what do I do about the shmutz that I have? So when a person really, really means his tshuva and really means his avodas Hashem, Eibush has all different kinds of ways how to, that the Yarvei should be nimchal. When a person discusses it and cries over it, and b'shas, as you have to know, this is another shir, not all day, but b'shas tikkun chatzos at a certain time, and he's focusing on the tshuva, but the rest of the day you have to be happy. But whatever it is, there's oifanim that the Torah, through the being so real and being so true to the Eibush, that his Torah and his mitzvahs, and to the dedication, and with real regret, and with real Aziv Yissacher, with real Kabbalah Lasid, that Mamela you'll clean up everything. So then he had a very big question. We're just catching everybody up. We want to get to Nekuda. A big question, the famous Gemara. Gemara tells us that Ramashi Menchar says the 4 steps to tshuva. If a person was over on a mitzvah's essay, a positive command that you should have done, but you didn't do it. So, person does tshuva on the spot. He says, I feel so bad. Really, next time I'm going to do what you want me to do. I'm all in for you. Right away on the spot, nimchol davonis. We explained why. Because if you were over in an essay, it doesn't mean that you're an apikoris. Lazy bum, yeah, lazy bum. You're supposed to go do something, and you didn't do it. A lazy bum. So you do tshuva, but it doesn't mean I'm against the Shabbat. It doesn't mean I'm If you're over a lois essay, the Eibush says don't do something, and you went to do it. That's already a more serious sin, because I took the courage and I went against the Eibush there. So that already needs something else. What does that need? As you know, that you have to do Tshuvas Toila, and you need Yom Kippur to be Mechaper. And then he said, what about Krisis and Mises Bezdin, which is more severe of Eris? So then Tshuva and Yom Kippur is Toilen, and a person needs Yisurin in order to clean up that mess. And the fourth level, the highest level, Chil Hashem, that don't worry, Tshuva, Yom Kippur, and Yisurin Matoila, and only death is what cleans up the mess. So he says, what do I do with this Gemara? So when he says, he said, about the avoida of being over a loisa, say that a person needs Yom Kippur. He said a person could create Yom Kippur at every moment of his life. A random Tuesday in the middle of the winter, you can make Yom Kippur. How does a person make Yom Kippur? He said, how does Yom Kippur work? What is the secret of Yom Kippur? Of course, the Torah says on the 10th day of the 7th month, it's a fast day, that we just read now also in Parshas Pinchas, right? But the Mitzvah says, in a certain, from one of the Eifanim, is because the Eibishter loves us so much. And we love the Eibishter so much. And one of the most important things that the Eibishter wants us to do is to love one another so much. The Eibishter wants us to love each other so much. And he explained Kabbalistically that the day of Yom Kippur is represented in the world called in the Sefer, called Bina, which Bina is called Ima, Ilah. That's a very high world up there. And Ima means your mama, your mother, your higher version of your mother, the Shechina K'dosha. That in that Olam Abina, which is called Ima Ilah, that's where the source of Tshuva is. Over there, the mother tender cares to all her children, and the mother wants, that's the Shuir of where Klal Yisrael is Yissacher as a family. That's the avoida Kabbalistically of Yovel, that everything goes lecheres, because in the Oifen of Yovel, that means everything is nishrash back to the Shar Chamishim, which is the Olam Abina, which is the Imei Allah, where there we connect back as a source of how we're family. You're my family, we're all family, we're brothers. Right? But not just because we have a big father, the Eibishter, we have a great mother called Imei Allah, the Shechina K'dosha. And when we're in the cradle and being tender cared by our mother as one, that's where we're mamish neschaber, we become attached to each other as one, and therefore in such a place, the Eibishter is the Segala such a hava, like we know, that in such a makom Yisrael, v'raisu kuchibrichu chadu, and we have, when we attach ourselves to the Eibishter, the Torah, to Klal Yisrael as one, being completely covered over, being niskase by Imei Allah, and we're mamish back home in our mommy's tutelage, and she's taking care of us, and we love each other, and we're respecting each other as a family. And the Eibishter is so in love with us. He's so proud of us, no matter what happened. The Eibishter says, but you're my kindlich, right? Like the famous thing Baal Shem Tov says, right? Every single Yiddish child has to feel himself as if he was a prince born to the king after 70 years of waiting. That kid, no matter how much trouble he makes, everyone's coming to tell the king, buddy, you know what your kid's doing? But he's blinded with love to this kid. This kid is what I mean. It's my kid I've been waiting for. Right? So therefore, when we're as Nishrash and the Shoirish Elyon, we're rooted back to our essence. We're over there. We're all one. And there's such a great revelation of Ahava between us and the Eibishter. So therefore, all the kapara, all the averis are cleaned up. So therefore, if a Yid decides on the spot, right now, I'm going to love every single Yid. I'm going to love the Eibishter. I'm going to love his Torah. Right now, I'm creating an aspect of Yom Kippur. Right now, I'm putting myself back into the Shuir of where Teshuva comes from, where I say, I'm sorry for breaking out. The way he said it also is that's where it's called the Reshus HaYochid, where everything is Neschaber in the Achdus HaPoshet, in the Olam called Echad, Yochid, and Yuchad. But when I leave and I ditch, and I'm like, okay, I'm running away from my parents' house, I go into the Reshus HaRabbim, where there's over there's all different kinds of other deists and Yetzaharis, so then I'm out. Well, if I come back into the Reshus HaYochid, if I may achid myself at this moment to say, today's a random Sunday, Yom Kippur is in a couple of months, but right now I have to do Teshuva. My lawyer says, so I need Yom Kippur to be toilet, I need Yom Kippur to be mechaper. So I'm mechaper myself, mamish, and bring myself this achid back into Klal Yisrael through a true ahava for every single year in the world. And to you, Hashem, and to your Torah, and to your mitzvahs, I want to be complete with this battle. So right now I've created an order around me of Yom Kippur. It says Bnei Yissacher that if a person sinned Matzah Yom Kippur, and the lawyer says he's supposed to say, oh my gosh, you got to wait till next year. Oh, right now, do what I just said. Be neschaber back into the olam ha'echad of the Reshus HaYochid. And Mamela, that aspect that's neschaber, they just says, oh, you're such a sweet people. I'm so happy that you want to be part of us again, and just clean you like a baby. So he says, therefore, that's what it means Yom Kippur. And that's Geshmak. That's not, that's not so scary. It's not like I've had the scare person. It's not like something I can do. Of course I can do it. The next thing, if a person was over a more severe sins, that you need krisis and Mrs. Besdin, that for that you need Yisurim. You need a lot of Yisurim. Yeah? So a person could be mamish, his whole of Hashem could be plugged out. I'm mamish not sure, and the people come back to Teshuva sometimes. They're mamish afraid that any second a wild wind from the west will come and pick them up and shake them and bang them. They're mamish going crazy, right? I don't know. I'm going to get Yisurim. Who knows what Yisurim is going to be? Oh, yeah, I learned the Gemara Chagika. I saw what some people got Yisurim. Oh, yeah, it's so spooky. One second, I'm so freaked out that I can't live myself. So as the Bnei Yissacher, you did Teshuva and you did Yom Kippur, now you need Yisurim. You think that is a mean monster? If a person really wants to serve the Eibishter and really wants to come back to the Eibishter and he means it for real, not fake. We're not talking about fake. Fake is not involved in the Yemachlal. Everything we're talking about is somebody that's real. Somebody that really loves the Eibishter, really wants to get close to one another, somebody that really wants to be dedicated to Torah and mitzvahs. Eibishter has such a chamanas in it. Of course, that's what I want for my child. I want him to really want to get close to me. I want him to really get excited to Torah mitzvahs. So the Eibishter has other ways. We know the Gemara says if a guy was looking for a nickel and he pulls out a dime, right? That's called Yisurim. If a person went to the tailor and it's like, make me a suit, and the guy mamish misfitted it, it's like hanging off my fingers, that's called Yisurim. That's also Yisurim. So it doesn't mean that a person needs mamish to be scraped skinned, who knows, person needs also, if a person really means it, the Eibishter can already use these Yisurim. And the best, the most important than all of this is, if a person puts himself into Torah and mitzvahs with the Yagiyah, and it's mamish painful, he's trying to sit and learn, and he's being Mamayat Shena, and he's sitting and learning, he's trying to figure out, what's this Teshuva saying, I'm so painful. The Eibishter says, these Yisurim are mamish cleaning up anything that you were over. So there's another option. The person doesn't have to go crazy and wild. I'm still a Rosh and a Yisurim. No, put yourself into the Geshmak of mitzvahs, put yourself into the Geshmak of Torah. What about Chil Hashem? Chil Hashem, you need Misa. So this is so gewalt. But I can't jump off a roof. So what am I supposed to do? If a person by Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, what do you have to be mechaven Mesiras Nefesh? Imagine that the Heilige Melech says that imagine I have to just jump into fire now for the sake of heaven. I would do that right now, and I'm pushing Shema Yisrael, Hashem Echad. There's nothing else. It's Echad Yachim Yuchad. I would give myself all for anything. If I just like Avraham Avinu was put into the fire, I would jump into the fire, just like in the Holocaust, just like in the Inquisition, they gave themselves up. If the guy wants to, the Yitzhak is driving me crazy, I would mamish give myself right up now, just for the Eibishter, Hashem Echad, Mekablos of all Malchus Shemayim Mesiras Nefesh. That's considered as if you died. You think the Eibishter really wants you to be grilled at steak? They want you to have a ratzon that a person's willing to mamish go. And the second, and the Machshava Shel Adam is considered a Maisa. So if a person's Mekabel himself richtig, Kabbalah Soy Malchus Shemayim Mesiras Nefesh, as if like in Bahava, right? The Gemara Shemay Bahava Shemon Esrei, you Mekabel yourself the 4 Mises Besdin, it's as if you went. And therefore a person is l'schaper even on those averis. So therefore, it comes out, Rabbi say, that when a person understands that tshuva is not out of his reach, it's not something which is, it's rather, if a person really wants to come close to the Eibishter, there's so many capabilities and so many drachim for a person that you don't have to be shame Russia we're so afraid to have in us, because then who knows what will happen to the Torah mitzvahs. So if persons in these actions, Mameli becomes so purified and Mameli becomes so hailing. And that was the whole thing that he said. That was the last thing about the Misa. That was the idea of also bringing karbanis in the Beis Hamikdash. Always when a person brought a carbon chatas, what was he supposed to think? He's supposed to think that coin that's about to slaughter that bakar, that behemoth, that chatas, that's really supposed to be me. Instead, he sent that cow to go under, but I'm supposed to be more myself to tshuva through that action, and that's considered. So that's why today that we don't have karbanos, but if a person really is makabel decent and yonam on himself, so then that's the Indian of Nishal Parms to say. So this is where I just quote everybody up at Kitz and Emirates, and I want to just continue a little bit more. Says the Heilige Bnei Yissacher, Yididi HaKoyer, my dear friend, that's reading everything I just wrote. Hagam shekol devareinu eila nechonim v'amitim ba'atzmo. Even though everything that we just learned and we just spoke about is 100% true, noisef lezeh, an addition mutzanu lahem smichas b'parshas Teshuva. Everything that I just said, and it's all based. He also keeps quoting from Ben Yoina. He says it's clear as day in the psukim of Teshuva and Hoshea Anovi. And the pasuk of Shuv Yisrael, Husha Omar, Shuv Yisrael Hashem Elokecha, K'chashalt B'vinecha, K'chui Machem Devarim, K'shuv El Hashem, Amr Alav, Kol Sisa Oven, V'kach Toiv, and Shalom farms it the same. This is the pasuk in Hoshea. Says the Heilige Bnei Yissacher, L'hine, Hasfeikus Rabbu. Take this pasuk. There's a lot of interesting things, that notations that have to be made. Number one, Amr K'chui Machem Devarim, Ma'u Kavanosei. What is it? How do you take with your words? What's the avoid of Kui Machem Devarim? Ima Kavan Mashakasav Achakach Kol Tisa Avoin Vikach Toivin Shalma. So then, if it means the end of the pasuk says also take good and saying you should take for yourself good by uplifting your sin, and the Shalma verbs of saying. So what's in the beginning? Kui Machem Devarim. But you have to say it twice. Harichoizer Loimer V'Amr Elo. Base Masha Amr Shuvu El Hashem. You just said Shuvu Yisrael El Hashem. What's again B'shuva El Hashem? 3. Kol Tisa Avoid Eile Bir. What does it mean? Kol Tisa Avoid. All of the sin that I carry, I'm trying to do tshuva. I'm trying to get rid of all my sin. Pshat Pirshu Tilu Nemer Kol Oven Tisa. Not Kol Tisa Oven. They say the real pshat is Kol Oven Tisa. Not that I'm carrying all my sin, but Kol Oven Tisa. Avalenoida Lama Leinichtav Kem Leidav Why Taka does it change if the pshat is not called, really the text is called Tisah, that I'm carrying all my sin, but it seems to be that my sin might be carrying me. Where is it taking me? So I have to see we have to have what's the pshat in the wording of the pasuk. And 4th is Ma'u v'kach toiv.
That Hashem is carrying this?
We're not sure. But I'm not sure. Called Tisah, who's it supposed to be? Because the pasuk says. What's actually the pasuk Hashem Amru Elav Kol Tisa Avoin, right? We are asking to the Eibush to please remove from me my sin. But what does it mean? Kol Tisa Oven. It says Kol Oven Tisa. That's really the pshat. Yeah, but the pasuk doesn't say that. Where it says Kol Tisa Oven, it's a little out of context in the grammar. It says the Heilige Bnei Yissacher. Uladati Remez Anovi Bekan Kolim Yoni Arba Chaluki Kaparach Emotion is Barle. This pasuk Hoshea is saying mamish remasiv and chorish is avoided the way we explained it. The hine Hischil Shuvi Yisrael Ad Hashem Elokecha. The Heilige Navi starts off. This is what we read. Takel Shabbat Shuva. Shuvi Yisrael Ad Hashem Elokecha. Haynu b'chal yoyim yoyser k'mash kisafti la'el. Bnei Yissacher explained earlier. We skipped this point earlier. Now, what does it mean? Ad Hashem Elokecha. Is there true that it doesn't reach the Eibishter? Famous question. Ad Hashem Elokecha, Shuvi Yisrael. Shuvi Yisrael. Lo Hashem Elokecha. Al Hashem Elokecha. What's Ad Hashem Elokecha? So this is where he explained at length. If you remember the avoid of tshuva al tshuva. right? Ad Hashem Elokecha, you'll not, this tshuva goes forever. This tshuva, and you have to know that I didn't explain it, and we don't have enough time to explain it now. It's in the early Shuir what it means, avoid the tshuva. Every day we have a new asaga and the Eibishter. So therefore, as much as I'm growing in my avodas Hashem, I realized that the tshuva I did yesterday was minimal compared to the tshuva that I have to do today. But not that in a brokenness, that's the most exciting avodah that I have a bigger asaga in the Eibishter. So therefore my avodah has to become more intense. So it says, Ad Hashem Elokecha. When is that? That's infinite. Person's tshuva is infinite. Snapshot, tshuva Yisrael, El Hashem Elokecha. Okay, I did tshuva, now I'm good. Ad Hashem Elokecha means that tshuva al tshuva, because it's infinite until you get to the Eibishter, infinite levels until you get to the Eibishter. So that's what tshuva Yisrael, Ad Hashem Elokecha teaches us tshuva al tshuva, because until you get there, it's infinite levels forever. So therefore, that's what Teshuva. Ki hain b'chol yom yoisek, כמו שאומר, כי חשלת בעיניך, כמו שפרשת ליל שתהי כל ימיך בתשובה, כי בכל יום תכיר ביוסק גדולת הבורא. Every day you'll recognize more the Eibishter, the greatness כביכול the Eibishter, ותגיד ביוסק es mi yichasta. Person's going to realize, כי חשלת בעיניך. Oh, hey, I thought, I didn't realize. I realized you were a great king, but today I have a different asaga. That's also a very important lesson for us to know. Every single day, a person has to be misboinen, and that do I have a greater asaga. That's a tzaddikim, come tzaddikim. It's not like, yeah, last couple of years of my life, I think God's great, but your asaga of God, it's cool. He's good, he's all right. And yet every moment has to have a different asaga, like, whoa, tzaddikim are growing, because the Eibishter, kiviyachol, the Eibishter that they knew then, whoa, so much greater, the Torah is so much vast, tzaddikim are so much greater, the world, not that we'll ever be able to be tovis the Eibishter, but a person's growing, right, and growing and understanding in a deeper oifen. Whatever I thought, I'm not understanding the Eibishter anymore as in my childish head. Every moment and every day, I have a different asaga, so therefore I have to do more. What happens is my sins cause me to be blinded of seeing the greatness of the Eibishter today. So after I do tshuva, all of a sudden I'm like, Eibishter. But now I have to deal with today's Lashonis. So the whole time I have to do tshuva more and more and more. Greater and greater, to reach higher levels and greater levels. According to what we just explained, if the game is never over, I'm giving up right now. But anyway, tshuva, it's never enough for you. How it becomes bigger every day. This small, stinking, stupid Avera I did 20 years ago, every day it's becoming greater and greater. Come on, just bust the thing out. Come on, I thought I did tshuva already. Therefore, we explained the Master B'chodesh came to make that the avodas of tshuva is not just that the Avera gets greater and greater and I can't get over my back. It makes the avodah of tshuva more sincere avodah, that it's more possible, more shaykh, and a more deeper way of growing my avodah. How is that?